Hi everyone, today we are taking a close look at Springleaf Residence, the mega launch of the year.
With its unique blend of heritage charm, greenery and promising location, we wonder if this could be the Bukit Timah of the North in the making.
So today we'll be covering the video in mainly three parts: project details, the site and floor plans, comparative market analysis. So we know you are busy and we are cutting it straight to the chase, kicking off with the comparative market analysis and our take on Springleaf Residence.
No long introductions and not talking about the floor plans first, just the key insights that you need to know. But before that, if you want to stay ahead with the latest new launch insights, please help us to smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive into Springleaf Residence.
So let's first take a look at the land bid price of Springleaf Residence. Guaco Land and Hong Leong actually got the land at $905 per square foot per plot ratio. Now this is actually in line with the OCR land prices when the tender was awarded last year. It is definitely very reasonable for a land that's right beside the MRT. The parcel beside, which is parcel A along Upper Thomson Road as well, actually closed without any bids, although they were launched a bit earlier. I think we can factor this likely to the requirement of having to build a service apartment whereby the minimum stay is about 3 months. So I think this kind of product is still relatively untested in this area, and developers may not have been that confident enough to actually think that there's enough demand to support this service apartment. Now, the other site that actually had this same service apartment requirement was actually at Zion Road, which is going to be launched as a Zion Grand. That one was actually bidded by CDL, and I think it makes more sense for them to actually have it there because there's actually demands from expats and business travelers. So, Upper Thomson Parcel A is actually back in the market now. This, I think, is a positive side for Springleaf Residence because now this service apartment is an option. It's no longer a requirement. And with that land being a mixed development where the commercial is on the first story, there's going to be supermarket, there's going to be childcare. The tender is actually closing soon. And I believe there should be developer who is actually keen in this plot of land.
Okay, let's take a look at the master plan. So you'll notice that we actually put together 2014, 2019 and 2025 master plan. Let's zoom into the 2014. So in the very first look at 2014, you know that the one that's right smack in your face is the yellow reserve land plot. Okay, and then at the blue part, that is actually our current parcel A, which is right at the Springleaf MRT, surrounded by the residential zone. Okay, and then we take a look at 2019. So in 2019, a very large part of our yellow reserve site is converted to the residential plot, which you'll notice by the beige color. Okay, and our blue parcel A is still right there. Okay, next, let's take a look at 2025. You know, what has been changed? You know, our blue parcel A has been converted into a pink zone, which meant that on top is still the residential, but there is a first level of a commercial story. And right next to it, instead of the residential, a larger portion of the Springleaf forest is now designated as safeguarded green area. So this zoning, what we can tell from this zoning is that it suggests that the government is laying the groundwork to gradually transform Springleaf into a new township in the coming years.
So if we dive deeper into the area that is near to Springleaf Residence, what are the indicators that could actually suggest that buying into Springleaf Residence could lead to future capital appreciation? If we look at the land plot that is slightly above the forested area, there could potentially be 3 more residential developments planned right beside Springleaf Forest. So each has a plot ratio of 1.6 and a maximum building height of 12 stories. This actually points to the gradual growth in this area with low-rise residential living set amidst the green backdrop. So buyers entering Springleaf Residence today can enjoy a clear first mover advantage as you're actually securing a home that's right beside the MRT before more amenities are added and ahead of future developments that may be launched at a higher price as this neighborhood matures. So the 3 land plots are also 300 to 500 meters walk away to the MRT. So this is actually your opportunity to buy at a lower price that is right beside the MRT.
Okay, so this is the official guide price relief released for Springleaf Residences, which starts from 878,000, and the PSF starts from 1995. Okay, where and when have we seen such prices for the longest time? Probably the recent one is at Canberra Crescent Residences.
So looking at the guide price, did you know that this could possibly be the most affordable new launch that is right beside a MRT station? So if we look at the price gap for outside central region government land sales that is right beside an MRT, we can definitely see the difference. So if you look at Bayshore, it actually set a record high of $1,388 per square foot per plot ratio. That is a 53% price gap from Springleaf Residence land that was bought at $905 per square foot per plot ratio. If you look at Lakeside, it was at $1,132 per square foot per plot ratio, a 25% price gap, and at Lorong Chuan, $1,376 per square foot per plot ratio, and that is a 52% price gap.
Next, we look at the resale development. The surrounding are mostly landed houses, and the nearest resale condo development is the Essence, which is about 700 meters away. And within 1 kilometer, there are only 5 developments, of which all are low density, low rise, just 5 stories high. And in total, we have 255 units in this area.
So with their TOP date ranging between 1987 to 2021, we personally feel that this is not an apple-to-apple comparison with Springleaf Residence. So now what we are doing is we are using the Lentor estate, which is only 1 MRT stop away, where there has been 6 new launches in the past few years. So of the 6 projects that were launched, 4 were not GFA harmonized. That means the gross floor area harmonization did not apply. So what we did was to add the 5% to the transacted price for consistency, and we can actually see that the dollar per square feet in the Lentor area has already crossed $2,600 per square foot. Now, if we compare with Springleaf Residence that's just 1 stop away and right next to MRT of a much lower density compared to Lentor area, I think the prices are indeed attractive for Springleaf Residence.
But Vera, just looking at this chart over here, it's pretty scary to see 4,000 over units. So we do get some of the buyers who are asking if there's an oversupply in the Lentor area.
Yeah, indeed. So with 4,000 over units in that area, actually, do you know 3 out of the 6 new launches have already been sold out, and currently there are only less than 75 units that's available in the area for sale.
Yeah, Lentor Modern was our first project that was launched in the area, so it was sold out. So this was actually just right on top of the Lentor MRT, and Lentor Central Residences and Lentor Mansion is sold out. So what's currently left is the Hillock Green, Lentor Hills, and Lentoria. So why are we sharing this with you?
I think it's important to understand whether there is sufficient demand when the supply is so high. So by looking at this Lentor area and how many units have been already sold, we do believe that there is a healthy demand in this area, especially along the Thomson-East Coast Line.
So let's take a look at this chart, which presents the new condo sale prices by region. Okay, the blue line indicates the core central region, and the yellow line indicates the rest of central region, and the pink one indicates our outside central region. So let's take a look at the OCR. So you'll notice that in 2025, our average PSF in OCR has already hit 2,337. And where Springleaf Residence is located, it offers you the opportunity to buy a property right beside MRT at 2022 to 2023 price.
Next, let's take a look at the new sale prices of outside central region condo versus an executive condo. We expect the average dollar per square foot of Springleaf Residences to be maybe about 2001 to 2002 per square foot. This price is actually below the average 2025 transactions in the OCR, and it is just slightly above that of EC prices. Now, furthermore, very recently, 2 EC land actually hit a new record of $782 per square foot per plot ratio at Woodlands and $771 per square foot per plot ratio at Senja. Now, this could potentially translate to an average of $1,900 per square foot for EC. If we enter into Springleaf just slightly above the EC prices and without any EC restrictions such as the 5 years MOP, the restriction on your loan, the restriction on having to form a family nucleus, I think Springleaf Residence stand as a clear winner. So with that, let's sum up why this project could be a buy or it could be a miss. Now, we think it's a miss because firstly, it currently lacks key amenities such as major malls, schools and lifestyle hubs nearby. Now, residents will likely need to travel to areas such as Upper Thomson, Ang Mo Kio or Yishun for daily conveniences. If you are someone who really value having everything within 5 minutes, then this may feel a little bit too quiet for now.
Springleaf residents may also face the indirect competition from the Lentor precinct. The Lentor area is definitely more developed with a planned mall, established schools nearby, and also a stronger infrastructure as compared to the Springleaf area.
Yeah, and we also think that Springleaf is still developing, so rental demand and capital appreciation may actually take a bit more time to build. So for investors, I think you have to be prepared for a longer holding horizon.
So why buy? So if you're looking for convenience right at the doorstep, Springleaf might feel like it has been missing, the schools, and there's no malls, but just right beside this MRT, the price point is still relatively attractive compared to the mature area, and especially with the future developments in the pipeline, this could be one of those rare first mover advantage, and you can ride on the growth before the rest of the market catches on.
And of course, Springleaf Residences, like we mentioned previously, is expected to be one of the most affordable new launches that's located right next to an MRT. So this is on the Thomson-East Coast Line, the Springleaf MRT, and it is rare to find a new project that has a direct MRT access at such a palatable entry price, especially this area is actually a low-density landed enclave. So for buyers who actually prioritize accessibility but want to avoid paying prices in Lentor or Thomson, Springleaf actually offers an excellent value.
So if you love the nature and serenity but are unable to stretch your price point towards Bukit Timah or the Thomson area, this is a rare opportunity for you to enjoy the lifestyle at a much more attainable price point. And here's something special that you may want to take note of. Other than the more commonly known VIP purchase and the multiple unit purchase priority, Springleaf Residence offers a special loyalty purchase.
So if you happen to be the ex-owner, current owner or current residential tenant of Guakulan and selected Hong Leong properties, you qualify for priority queue, which allows you to book 1 day before the public. This also appears to first-tier links such as your spouse, your parents, your siblings, and your children. So do contact us to check if you fall within the loyalty purchase group.
Okay, back to the facts. So for Springleaf Residence, this is the first development in the Springleaf precinct that is right beside the MRT. So it is developed by renowned award-winning developer Guakulan and Hong Leong. Their portfolio includes Goodwood Residence, Leiden Residence, 4 developments over at the Lentor area. We have the Lentor Central, Lentor Modern, Lentor Hills, and Lentor Mansion. So this project, there are a total of 941 units from 1 bedroom to 5 bedrooms. There are about 80% car park lots to unit ratio.
So in terms of location, we know it is just 2 minutes sheltered walk from the side gate to Springleaf MRT. And right across the road is where you find the famous Springleaf Prata. There is a Yong Tau Wu shop right there. And this area is surrounded by nature. So Springleaf Nature Park, there's the Upper Seletar Reservoir Park. There is the Lower Seletar Reservoir Park, and of course the upcoming forest, Springleaf Forest, which is right beside.
So if you look at the connectivity of the area, this is actually very close to the expressway. So people who are looking at the convenience to travel down to different parts of Singapore, you can easily access towards the SLE, and we have the upcoming North-South Corridor, CTE as well.
Let's look at the unit mix at Springleaf Residence. If you notice, there is a conserved building at Springleaf Residence, which is the old Upper Thomson Secondary School. In the conserved building, there are 3 main unit types, the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and the 3 bedroom, of which the 3 bedroom is further divided into with and without balcony. Now, there are only 8 of each unit type, so all in all, in the conserved building, there are 32 units. For the rest of the units, it's basically 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4 and 5-bedroom. Now, if you take a look at the 3, 4, 5-bedroom, actually it contributes to over 60% of the development. And why we are sharing these unit mix is because in such a huge development with over 900 units, or in all 941 units, it is important that we actually look deeper into the floor plans to determine which is the right unit and the right price point to actually enter into this development.
Next, let's take a look at the site plan. Springleaf Residence is the city's first biodiversity sensitive development where nature is essential to the design. So native plant species are thoughtfully integrated throughout, creating the feeling of a forest within a home and a home within the forest. 77% of the site is dedicated to the landscaping and facility. There is a conserved rain tree at the entrance. So when you enter from the entrance, you'll be greeted by this grand lawn, which mimics the school feel over here. So this location is where the conserved building is that houses the 32 units. Right at this point 8A, 8B, 8C, this is where the Springleaf Club is located, which is the annex of the school building. And here you have the gym, study room, and the craft room. So next, right beside the tennis court, where the ECA house is, here it locates celebrities kitchen as well as 3 functions room. So you can actually open up the 3 function rooms into 1 big room, for your bigger event and activity. So next on the nature side, you have the forest trail and the bird hike. Okay, of course there we have the wading pool, the hydrotherapy pool, as well as the 50-meter lap pool.
Moving on, let's look at the floor plan of the unit. Now, this is the 1-bedroom floor plan that is located in the conserved building. As mentioned, there's only 8 such units in the development itself. It is a very regular layout, and you have noticed that it is very space efficient. There's no balcony, there's no aircon ledge. So the whole area of 388 square feet is all usable space.
So let's take a look at the 2-bedroom floor plan. There's a basic as well as a standard layout. For the basic layout is a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and the standard is a 2-bed, 2-bath. So you'll notice that it's a dumbbell layout. Of course, for the standard layout, you have a wider kitchen area, bigger balcony space, as well as a wider living and dining area. So let's take a look at the conserved building for the 2-bedroom layout. So this is also a dumbbell layout. It comes with a 2-bed, 2-bath layout. There is no balcony, there is no aircon ledge. But as you enter from the main entrance, you'll notice that you have an open kitchen area. It's an L-shaped kitchen. There's more countertop in the area. Okay, and you'll notice that you have a wider living area as well as a dining area.
And moving on to the 3-bedroom, there are 3 types. Let's take a look at the 3-bedroom basic floor plan first. Now, when we say basic, it basically means that the kitchen is an open concept. Looking at type C1 at 786 square feet, there is no window at the kitchen area. So there is also more space with minimal walkway because of the dumbbell layout. So one of the common bedroom is actually on the right beside the living area. And if you notice, actually this development also uses the advanced precast building method, whereby the walls can be hacked down. So moving on and looking at type C2, it is a typical layout with longer walkway to the bedroom. So if you are someone who prefers more privacy, then this layout will work better for you. And one thing to note, there is a window at the kitchen area. Now, for the foyer area, you will see that C2 has a larger foyer area. So if you prefer privacy whereby your neighbors cannot look directly into your living area, C2 might be a more preferable layout. Moving on to the 3-bedroom standard, there are 4 kinds of the standard layout. If you just look at it, the size varies slightly, maybe between about 20 square feet to 50 square feet. So the main differences is actually at the foyer area. Now, all of these 3-bedroom standard actually comes with dry and wet kitchen, and there is a window at the kitchen area. So the main difference, if you really zoom into it, is actually how big a foyer area you want. Maybe if you are someone with lots of shoes, you want to build more built-in cabinet, then a larger foyer area would work better for you. Lastly, let's look at the 3-bedroom plus. Now, this 3-bedroom plus floor plan includes the flex room, which is in the 3-bedroom standard floor plan. On top of that, there is a household shelter. Now, between C7 and C8, the difference of about 50 square feet, I think mainly lies in the foyer area. So you can see that in C8, you have a much longer foyer area before entering into the main unit. Other than that, the bedroom sizes, the toilet sizes, the balcony sizes, they are mostly similar. So if we look back into the 3-bedroom standard floor plan, one thing you'll notice about the flex room is that there is a wall that can be taken down, and that is exactly what the developer has done for the show flat unit. So by taking down this flex wall, it will allow a much bigger space. For the 3-bedroom unit, there's actually 2 floor plan type in the conserved building. If you're someone who doesn't like the balcony, you want all the indoor space, then this CC1 would be suitable for you. So once you enter, there's actually a bath right near the entrance. I think this is good if you have maybe pets or you want your visitors to just kind of wash their hands and feet before entering into your main unit. And for CC2, the main difference I would say is in the balcony. It has a huge balcony of about 20 square meters. So if you want the outdoor space for your plants, this is definitely a good option. The balcony also connects to master bedroom and the common bedroom.
So let's take a look at the 4-bedroom floor plan. There is type D1 and type D2. So if you have been to the show flat, you'll notice that our type D1, which is a 1227 square feet, it has a very similar layout over at Lentor Mansion because this is one of the popular layout. So looking at this floor plan, as you enter from the main door, okay, there is a powder room as well as a shower facilities. Okay. The living dining area is very long. It is about like 9.35 meters, 3.2 meters wide. So you can definitely and easily fit a 10-seater dining table right next to the dry kitchen, which is really great for people who loves hosting their guests. The difference between type D1 and type D2 is the entrance area, where you can see. So for type D2, where the entrance opens up directly looking into the kitchen area, while type D1, you actually look into the DB storage space. Let's take a look at the 5-bedroom floor plan. There is type E1 and type E2. So both are exactly the same size, but the difference lies in the foyer area. So for type E2, you have a longer foyer area as well as a DB storage area right beside the wet kitchen. And the next thing that we can notice is in terms of the length of the living dining area. So for type E2, the length itself is 8.7 meters versus the type E1, which is 7.8 meter. So this difference about 1.1 meter actually reflects upon the junior master bedroom, where you will notice that in type E1, where you enter from the main door, it gives a little bit more privacy to the junior master bedroom. However, for type E2, it actually hits right into the bedroom. So if you're looking at somewhere that's more private, for the junior master, you can choose for the type E1, but of course that will compromise in terms of the length for the living dining area. Okay. However, if you prefer for type E2, that's great because there's only just one stack, which is stack 38, and it faces the Springleaf Forest.
The preview for Springleaf Residence has already started on 1st August. If you're looking for a rare home with character, charm, and future potential, don't wait until it's too late.
So contact us now to view the show flat immediately, because due to the overwhelming response, the preview for the show flat has been brought forward, and the last day to view it will be on this Sunday, 10th of August.
So if you have found this video to be helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be updated of our latest video.